Tate from New Jersey. It's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, Darren Tate.
And I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
John Trumbull, how are you, sir?
Okay.
Oh, wow. All right. Catch off guard there? Did you...
I was just like, I can't match that energy.
Who can?
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I come in hot and fast. Pow!
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm doing all right. How are you doing? I'm
Okay.
not doing as well as you, it sounds like.
Yeah, no, I'm doing fine. I come in hot, you come in a little less than hot, and we
adequate,
meet,
yeah.
Yes, we meet in the middle somewhere. You're like lukewarm water.
I bring your energy down, you might bring my energy up.
Yeah, and that's how we balance each other out. It's good, you know. 2 steps forwards, 2 steps back. We come together because opposites attract.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you're the MC Scat Cat in this equation, I think.
Yes, of course. That's all I've ever wanted to be.
Sure.
Of course. That would make you Paula Abdul, of course.
It would.
But, yes, exactly. And folks, with that, we got another new episode of SNL to talk about because coming back to host for a second time, Mr. Jason Momoa.
Aquaman, his own self, and musical guest Tate McRae. This is episode 5 from season 49, aired on November 18th, 2023. So, I mean, I think we were both kind of looking forward to seeing Jason Momoa return to SNL. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. He comes in with a lot of likability, a lot of energy. Like myself, just come in like a wrecking ball, he's a dude that everybody likes, everybody loves. He just brings joy wherever he goes with his big hulking, long-haired self.
He's very enthusiastic. I remember on his first show, he identified himself as an SNL super nerd. At the Good Nights on this episode, he gave a shout out to his mom for getting him watching Saturday Night Live. I mean, he really seems to sincerely appreciate being there as a host. So I think it's really nice that they brought him back.
Yeah, absolutely. And his joy is pretty infectious. You can genuinely tell he really likes doing the show. He's game for anything and everything. And that kind of spread throughout the show. So I was looking forward to seeing him come back. And let's get into it. We'll see how we fared during his second outing.
Okay.
As we get into it.
Okay. Well, first of all, we have the Biden Panda cold open. This was Joe Biden giving a press conference. He had a big meeting with the Chinese president this week, and we're working all the panda stuff out, basically.
Yes, very lot of pandas because I think also in the news he actually called the Chinese president a dictator.
Yes.
And but even after they talked and the meeting went very well and it was very amicable, he still called the guy a dictator, which I don't know if you want to do that.
I mean, maybe not right after, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, that dictator was all right.
I mean, on one hand, I kind of admire the honesty. On the other, maybe not the most diplomatic move.
Yeah, it's like, well, he is. I'm just keeping it real. Sorry.
Keeping it real.
That's right. Oh, I'm sorry. We can't keep it real. I thought I was the president. I thought I could keep it real.
I mean, but the main thing this cold open about is working out the panda thing. I think China took their pandas back, or we were sending the pandas back. The relations kind of fell apart during the Trump years, and now we're getting a panda back.
Yeah, I was unaware of this whole take a panda, leave a panda trade thing we were doing.
Yeah, it's like a penny jar. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea that we were doing this thing with China, but apparently a lot of panda enthusiasts were really in the know about this. But this is all new to me.
This was like the first time in a few decades we didn't have any pandas in our zoos.
Wow.
So,
and we still carried on. Somehow the world kept on spinning.
I mean, do you even want the world to keep on spinning without pandas in our zoos, though?
Yeah, you know what? I don't. They are pretty damn cute.
I know
I know.
they're fucking adorable.
They're,
And
yeah,
speaking of adorable, I mean we have Mikey Day as the show's new Joe Biden. I'm kind of gradually getting used to his Biden.
yeah,
I think it improved a bit this week. It's I think he's getting more of a handle on the character.
yeah. It is interesting because like I thought like JAJ was going to be the Biden, but I mean I'm guessing they're sort of switching speeds here to make Mikey the Biden on the off chance that I guess Trump is going to be the nominee for next year's election year. So, like, I mean, I'm assuming that's their logic. Like, that's why they're taking the Biden
I
away
think
from him.
that's got to be it. I don't
You know?
think the recasting is any kind of reflection on James Austin Johnson's Biden. He did a great job Biden. And I think Mikey Day's doing a pretty good Biden. But yeah, I think they're kind of hedging their bets in case the Trump somehow still becomes the nominee. I mean, who knows? Anything can happen at this point.
Anything is possible.
Um, and and yeah, I think they just want to give themselves the option to actually be able to have both the candidates debate each other in real time.
Yeah, which is fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah, because like a year ago, it was looking like, oh yeah, there's no way they're going to be that stupid to nominate Trump again. But
And here
Republicans
we
were
are.
like, watch us, watch us.
I believe, as the kids say, "Hold my beer."
Yes. And then also speaking of, I mean, we have Biden kind of trying to dodge questions throughout the press conference. He does the whole fake elevator bit, which I thought was cute.
Yeah, I was like,
Um,
"Oh yeah, that thing from Austin Powers was it's bringing it back."
well, I mean, it didn't really originate with Austin Powers, but
Well,
yeah.
it got into the mainstream through Austin Powers, or maybe Wayne's World actually, or maybe both. Who knows?
Okay, all right.
Okay,
I mean, I remember that years before either one of those was a thing, but okay.
okay. But
I'm
yeah,
not going to debate the origins of the fake elevator bit with you, sir.
no. Let's debate the origins of the. No, that's not. Uh,
Hashtag fake news. Um, and also speaking of cute, we have Bowen as Tintin, a giant panda. So we got Bowen as in one of his absurdist costume characters, which is pretty always fun.
yeah. Bone comes in as the panda, and answering all the questions that the press has for him. About
Yeah.
why he refuses to mate in the zoo, and
Hmm.
how he identifies as black, white, and Chinese,
Yeah, yeah,
and
and yeah, he's apparently a pretty asexual panda because they're having trouble getting the panda to mate. Which I didn't know that was an issue they were having, but I think it's interesting to play the panda as asexual. He's talking about how he's reluctant to move back to China because he hasn't been there since he was a kid, and he has to make all new friends as an adult,
yeah,
which that's stressful.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot on a
I get
panda.
it. I feel you, Tintin. I
Yeah,
feel you, Tintin.
I feel you, dog.
Tintin's an interesting name for a Chinese panda because I mean I hear Tintin, I think Belgian reporter. So
Oh, I think like Rin Tin Tin, but
oh well, okay.
that's where my mind goes.
Well, you're lost, my friend. Tintin is amazing.
Yes, I think Tintin wins because I'm from the East Coast.
Sure.
Okay. Um, but yeah, overall, this I don't know. What are your thoughts on this cold open? I thought it was okay. I guess I thought it was okay enough.
My overall thought on it is this was cute. I think it was the best cold open in a while because I think I like that they were just kind of focused on this absurd aspect of the events of the week, and they just kind of zeroed in on that. And I like that the pandas were elected to vote for Biden.
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
that was cute. Bowen played it really well. Biden's coming along nicely. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was pleasant enough. I thought,
Hmm.
oh, okay, it didn't go on for too long. Kind of got in,
Yeah,
got out. Uh, you know, Bowen had some great lines. Mike, like you said, Mikey's uh, Biden is coming along, and we got to see Bowen say live from New York on Saturday night, and Mikey giving Bowen a kiss on the cheek as he did that.
yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, very sweet, very lovely.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh,
So I enjoyed that.
yeah.
And next we have Jason Momoa and his monologue.
Yes, comes out like a wrecking ball. Wearing a mustard leather jacket, no shirt, had a little horn necklace. He's wearing shoes this time, which was bit of a bummer, but
you were like fingers crossed for no shoes.
I want to see some feet.
I think he was barefoot in at least one sketch, so you have
Okay.
that.
All right. Phew. All right. Yes. My taste has been satiated. And
yeah, and it was basically he just kind of given his personal history. He talks about how he was born in Hawaii, how he wanted to be a marine biologist. So it's kind of ironic that he ended up being Aquaman. Then he was brought up in, I think he said Iowa. Is that
yeah,
right?
he was born in Hawaii, but then he grew up in Iowa. Yes.
Right, right. And then he eventually went back to Hawaii. He ends up cast in Baywatch Hawaii when they moved that show over to Hawaii for the last couple seasons, and then that kind of began his acting career, and now he's in the DC universe.
Yeah, that's how it works, kid. That's how easy it works.
As Aquaman and possibly later on Lobo.
Possibly.
Which
Yeah,
is honestly a much better fit for him.
But it really is. Yeah, like I can absolutely see that happening.
Yeah.
I didn't take too many notes for this monologue because it's actually really short.
It's like one of the shortest monologues I can remember. It's like under 3 minutes, and yeah, it was just basically, yeah, here's my basic history. We got a great show for you tonight. And I was like, well, wow, okay, wow.
Yeah, it really, like, folks, it really is like a blink and you miss it monologue because, like,
yeah,
like you say, he comes out with a lot of energy, a lot of gratitude and love for the show and being there.
mm-hmm.
Talks about how he started his own water company to eliminate single-use plastic water bottles, which is
he's like a crusader for the environment, much like Aquaman himself.
That's right. He's a real-life Aquaman, folks.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't have too much to say. There weren't too many jokes in it, but
no,
I thought it was cool enough. It was nice and short, and his charisma and charm were enough to sort of, carry and genuine love for the show and life and everything. I thought, like his positive energy, I thought was enough to, win me over. I thought.
Yeah, this dude's just winning at life.
That's right.
Did he and Lisa Bonet get divorced? I'm just trying to remember.
Oh.
Did they? I thought I remember reading something about them breaking up.
I don't think so, but
okay.
This is breaking news here.
Okay, well, geez, I'm gonna have to Google it now.
Okay, well, okay, I can look it up.
Well, I'm doing it already.
All right, here we go. Well, I mean, while you do that, let's move on. Well, we got the first sketch of the night.
Yeah, they announced their divorce after 12 years of dating and 4 years of marriage.
Oh,
okay,
that's a bummer. They seem good together.
Yeah,
love is dead.
Wait, but this other thing from People says it was 5 years of marriage, and now I don't know what to believe.
Fake news.
Yeah.
Fake
okay.
News.
Yeah, but they split in January of 2022, so it's been almost 2 years now. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a bummer. Way to bring down the podcast, John.
Well, no, I was just double checking my vague memory, and I don't really keep track of the celebrity breakups.
Way to remind everyone that love is dead.
Not love in general, just this one love.
Just this love. This love is dying.
Just this specific love.
This love has taken its toll. Okay. Jeez.
All right.
Old-timey movies.
Old-timey movies, our first sketch of the night. We don't have writing credits for this one yet. I have a feeling this is a Mikey Streeter thing.
If I had to, dollars to donuts. If I was a betting man, I would say this was a Streeter joint.
Yeah, it really feels like their style. And it's like a PBS show called Masters of the Pen. We have Heidi as the host and Bowen as the guest. And they've had this recent discovery of an old-timey movie from the early 1900s. And they found Wizard of Oz author L. Frank Baum on it. And they're just observing him and trying to get what historical tidbits they can out of it.
Yes, but the joke is, like, as they observe this old-timey black and white footage of the writer of Wizard of Oz, just coming up with the idea of Wizard of Oz, just random people walking down the street see the camera and get all excited and get all goofy and start to perform and do little silly little dances in front of the camera.
Right, right, and because it's an old timey movie, it's all sped up and stuff because as Bowen helpfully explains, they shot it at a lower frame rate, so everything looks sped up. It's like a giant Benny Hill sketch.
Yes, of course. We're all familiar with the classic works of Benny Hill.
Right, right,
Yeah,
but it's different because Yakety Sax hadn't been composed yet. So
not yet. The world wasn't ready yet.
yeah,
we weren't there yet, people, as a nation.
yeah. So we have Mikey Day stepping in front, and then he brings his big friend on there, played by Jason Momoa, and they're hamming it up for the camera, and
Yeah.
Chloe comes on as a woman. She's like staring straight into the camera and blinking really fast, and
Yeah, at one point they get a parasol and do a little dance, and
yeah,
Mikey spanks Momoa, and
there's some humping involved at some point too.
just
Yeah,
basically, if you watched your local news and you see goofballs in the background when
yeah.
the reporters on camera just hamming it up and doing all types of wackadoo things, it's
Yeah,
basically that, but in black and white.
but it's all visual because Baba Booey wasn't a thing yet.
Not
So
yet, not yet. The world wasn't ready. Papa,
that would have been fun if they had a couple blatant anachronisms, though. But
Papa Booey, Papa.
and the joke is, of course, they're blocking the view of L. Frank Baum, so which is the thing that the PBS people are most interested in.
Yeah, and again, I didn't write. That's pretty much the gist of the sketch. I didn't write too much about
Yeah,
this one either. I thought it was cute enough, I guess.
yeah, yeah. It was entertaining. They were having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it's a simple enough premise, but
Yeah.
Momoa and Mikey and everybody was just hamming it up enough to get it to the finish line. I thought.
I wouldn't say I was like laughing out loud, but I was like, there might have been some smirking.
Yes, you were smirking out loud.
I was smirking. I was
Yeah.
like, ha ha ha. A
Yeah.
little chuckle of recognition. It was
Oh.
a it was a nice sensible chuckle as they put it on Danger 5.
Yes. Danger. What's that? Danger 5?
Danger 5.
Oh, what's that? All right.
Oh god, you got to see Danger 5.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar.
I think it's on Amazon right now. It's a show from, is it Australia or New Zealand? It's one of those,
Wow.
um, and it's like one of those old British Jerry Anderson shows,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this like spy team, and they fight like giant monsters and mecha things, and they're tasked with killing Hitler,
Ooh.
and it's very funny. It must be seen. Yeah, and they're
Okay.
briefed every week, and then they always end up the briefing with, and once again, kill Hitler.
Okay. Yeah. We'll get
Yeah,
to it. We'll get to it.
yeah. And one of the characters is this very milk toasty guy, and he reads a Sensible Chuckle magazine. And he gets a nice sensible chuckle.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right. I'm intrigued. Danger 5.
yeah.
I'll give it a look.
Danger 5. Danger 5. It gets my official thumbs up.
Done and done. But yeah, I thought the sketch was cute enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, sensible chuckle, as you so
a sensible chuckle. Yeah.
as you so eloquently put it.
Yes. Yes.
Next up, we got a pre-tape Rome song.
Rome song. This was, we've got some sort of distraught husbands that just sort of thinking hard about stuff and staring off into the distance. The wives are worried about them. They're like, "Oh, what's on his mind? What is he thinking about?" And then we get a little song and we find out that they're actually thinking about the Roman Empire, because this is based on that weird meme that was going around a little while ago that's saying that adult men think about the Roman Empire 5 times a day.
Yeah, like I didn't even know
Which,
that was a thing because
yeah, no, I saw that on like some of the social media places.
yeah, and like part of me was thinking, all right, is that an actual thing that a lot of dudes really think about the Roman Empire, or
No,
is
I think
this?
it's just an absurd thing, and it just became a meme for some reason.
That's what I thought. I thought I was like, is this a real thing, or is this like social media making up a thing, and then like it actually becoming a thing? You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, yeah, I feel like it's got to be that. I think it's if I had to guess at the origin, I think it's on that old statistic that like men think about sex X number of times a day,
right?
and then also like some men when they get older they get really into history and World War
Yes.
II and stuff,
Yeah.
um, and so they just substituted the Roman Empire as this absurdist substitute for thinking about sex or something like
Okay.
that. I personally do not think about the Roman Empire very much.
I don't think of it at all. But yeah, like,
Yeah,
well, what you said, that does make sense because I know there are a lot of dudes that are really into war. Like, they think about the world wars quite a bit,
right.
Civil War. They
They're
like,
watching the History Channel and all that.
yeah, like,
I'm not. I am still not quite at that stage. Um,
we're not there yet.
I'm at the stage where like on Disney Plus or something, they have a lot of those Smithsonian specials or stuff, and I'll put those on my watch list
Hmm.
on my queue, but I never get to the point of actually watching them. But I kind of like the idea that I'm a person who will watch those.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch that sometime. But yeah, I'm never quite in the mood to watch those. That's where I am.
It's like when people put like important books on their bookshelves, not to read
Yeah.
it, but just to let other people know that they have important books in their
Well, no,
like.
I mean it's not that conscious. I mean it's not that. It's not like oh I'm never going to watch this. It's just that I intend to, but I never actually do.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like pull one over on people because I'm the only one who sees this watch list.
I'm not trying to fool the people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought the sketch was okay, but I will admit
Hmm.
I did think it picked up a little bit when because Ego and Jason Momoa are playing the husband and wife, and then
Yeah.
Ego's like, "Your look at your actions are disturbing our son, who's just staring off in the distance," and they show that the boy is actually not disturbed; he's just thinking about dinosaurs because all
Yeah.
young boys think about dinosaurs, which
Yeah,
I
that I think is pretty accurate.
that
I was surprised that they give the kid a significant part in the sketch.
yeah, that's just like some random kid actor who's actually was pretty good. But
Yeah,
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 but he got like a whole little like bar to rap about how dope dinosaurs are. And then
yeah,
yeah, and then that goes into the thing where the wives are saying you should really think about things that are really important, like astrology. And then all the women, because all women are obsessed with astrology, and then they go into their little
hmm
rap about it. So but yeah, overall I thought the sketch was okay. I think it did pick up a little bit towards the end when there was like other things to compare it to, like
hmm
guys think about the Roman Empire, little boys think about dinosaurs, and women think about astrology. So I did like that. They mixed it up a little bit towards the end.
yeah, yeah. I felt like it was a bit of a miss in that that Roman Empire meme is a little old in internet terms by this point.
Yeah,
So like they did that, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that was a thing a few months back.
yeah,
And
but
yeah, it didn't really seem of the moment.
yeah, but I mean, how weird is it? It was only a couple months ago, but like already by now it's like old news. It's like
Yeah, but that's like 2,000 years in internet terms,
I guess so. Yeah, like internet
Yeah,
memes kind of age like avocados.
like milk. Yeah.
No, like it'll go bad by the time I finish the sentence, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And we actually have writing credits for this one. This one was
Yes, we do.
written by Rosebud Baker, Dan Bula, and Streeter Seidel.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. But yeah, overall, not a terrible little pre-tape. That's cute enough.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, impressive production value,
Yes,
with the
yes,
costuming
absolutely,
and all that. Yeah,
absolutely.
it was
Uh,
good.
Next up, we got a nightclub line.
Nightclub line with Marcelo and Jason as doormen at the club.
Yes, bottle full of bub. You
Yeah.
can I ain't in
Was that
having.
the name of the club?
No, I'm reciting 50 Cent in the club lines.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
I'm into having
I
sex.
mean, I'm the perfect audience for
Yeah,
the 50 Cent lyrics,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Obviously.
Trumbull will appreciate these bars. I'm into having
Yeah,
sex.
but they're the doormen. They are the ones who are tasked with only letting the beautiful people in, like Studio 54 back in the day, where you know
Yeah,
you got to maintain the club's image, so you're only letting the people in who look really great and hot and sexy and stuff.
yeah.
And we see Chloe Feynman there, and she's there with her friend Sarah, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Chloe Fineman, you look amazing." She's in a nice red dress, and they're like, "Oh, you look like Cameron Diaz. Come on in." And then Sarah's dressed much more modestly. She's in like a sundress and like a button-down sweater. She looks kind of like a teacher or something like that, and they're like, "Oh no, you can't come in."
Yeah,
But they're trying to do it politely.
Yeah, it's basically like Marcello kind of training Jason Momoa's character Rudy, who's like the big bouncer, and like Jason Momoa's put on this thick Spanish accent. He almost sounds like Tony Montana a little bit,
Yeah.
and like he's trying to teach him how to politely let people know that maybe they're not quite right for the club.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he said, yo, let her down gently. And so it's basically her. Then it's Rudy saying, you know how you see like a pretty bird, or like like a peacock or something. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you are an ugly person. Like, and
Yeah.
of course
Yeah.
that upsets
That
Sarah
offends her. Yes.
offends her, and of course, then what you call it? Marcelo's character has to like apologize and say, hey, you can go in, have a bottle on me,
Yeah.
bottle
And
of
he
Bud
says
Light,
a bottle of Bud Light. Yeah. Yeah. And then
which I like that little
later,
line. Yeah.
yeah, later we see Michael Longfellow. He's just like a regular, average looking dude. He's in like jeans and a plaid shirt, and he's like, "Hey guys, can I just go in? My girlfriend's already in there." And they're like, No, you can't come in because
Yeah, and I do like the move where Jason Momoa physically picks up Longfellow and puts him down to the side.
sure, yeah,
I thought, I don't know, that was a nice little visual gag, I thought.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's basically them trying to let him know, hey, you're not quite right for this club, and of
Yeah,
course, it coming out saying that he's dressed horribly and is an ugly person.
yeah. And he's like, "Oh, am I really dressed that badly?" And yeah, I mean, it's cute. These characters were kind of endearing in a weird way. Yeah,
I thought so too. I thought like Momoa and Marcella, they had good chemistry. They bounced
yeah,
off
they have a nice
well.
offbeat chemistry together. At the very end, we have Keenan coming out as like the manager, and he's kind of explaining that they're doing a horrible job because they're taking too long talking to everybody, so they're not letting people in at a fast enough clip. Um,
Yeah. And then it ends with them getting fired. Yeah. Overall,
wah, wah.
I thought this was a cute enough sketch. I do like
Hmm.
Marcello's energy. Like he really sells like everything he's in. Like usually, like he brings it upbeat, and like yeah, him and Momoa did have good chemistry, I thought.
Yeah. So far, this is like, yeah, the adjective I keep coming back to for this episode is cute.
Yeah, I think I'll peek behind the curtain. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought about this show overall. There were like a lot of sketches I thought were cute and good, but nothing that really like won me over and wowed me. Like like all the sketches just pretty much just kind of got there.
I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I don't know if there were any sketches that really like blew me away.
There was one
But
that came close, but we'll get there.
there was also not any sketches where I was like, ugh, what are they doing? How'd that get on the show? I
I
mean,
will, yeah, I
so
will.
so it was a nice agreeable level throughout. I thought,
Yeah, no, agreed.
which was kind of nice,
Yeah, I will say that
honestly.
too. Yeah. There weren't any sketches that were flat out duds, but there
Yeah,
weren't any like clear home runs either. But
yeah.
there's
It
one,
was
yeah,
there was something just very comforting about it.
just a lot of bunts.
Yeah, I've got a lot of times it's SNL has a lot of up and downs in the average episode, and this was just kind of on an even keel, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of nice. This is like just stepping into a nice hot tub or something.
Yeah, just it's not too hot, not too cold. It's just right.
Right, right.
Uh, Next up, the Thanksgiving week airport parade.
Yes, from the Newark airport, everyone's third choice, which I was like, hey, come on, guys. The
I
Newark airport's actually a good airport.
It's actually not bad. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the wife and I were there like earlier this year. And it's like, oh, this ain't terrible. This is fine.
No, I mean Newark Airport is always the airport I fly out of,
Mm.
and I would much rather go to Newark than JFK. I went to
Uh,
JFK like a couple of times, and yeah, JFK is pretty horrible.
JFK blown away. What else do I have to
Yeah,
say?
Yep.
But yeah,
So we have who do we have here? We
yeah,
have
we have
Ego
Bowen.
and Bowen
Yes, they're
reporting on it, like kind of like it's a red carpet arrival. It felt more like a red carpet arrival thing than them reporting on a parade.
yeah,
But
yeah. They were basically kind of. I mean, they've kind of done this format before, like when they did
yeah,
the Halloween parade thing on the Jack Harlow episode, and
yeah,
there was that one cold open they did the first day of spring in Central
yeah,
Park,
yeah,
where yeah. So in this one, it's Ego and Bowen as two TSA agents, and their commentate. What was their names? Chartreuse Hamilton and Umberto,
yeah,
and they were
and they're just pointing out all the types of people that we see walking by that you see in the various airports, and
yes.
it's and because it's Thanksgiving, it's like the biggest travel time of the year. I don't get why Thanksgiving is a bigger travel time than, like, say, Christmas, but okay.
Um, is it? I thought they were like neck and neck. Is Thanksgiving bigger? Hmm.
I mean, according to this sketch, I don't know. I didn't look up the statistics. I've never been a person who like flew home to be with my family for Thanksgiving because it's just like, one day,
Right.
and it's just not really worthwhile. Or not that it's not worthwhile. It doesn't make economic sense to fly down for like just one day. Like
Yeah.
Christmas, you can usually like take a week or something, and that's
Yeah. No.
that's more a more substantial visit.
Yeah. No. That's fair enough. Like, I mean, because I never did the fly home to my folks for the
Yeah,
holidays either, because I lived with my folks for a good chunk of my life, so I never had to
this
make
is
the
true.
travel.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
I save on travel. Uh,
yes, yeah.
but yeah, but on Thanksgiving, on during this sketch, they talk about all the people see in the airport. The couple on their last Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
The woman with numerous service dogs that she clearly doesn't need.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
see,
We report to Jason Momoa as Captain Gary. He's reporting from the staging area, which is the Chili's in the airport. Which, yeah, it was cute.
yes, and of course
There's
he's,
that word again.
yep, it's a cute episode. That's it.
Yeah,
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 he's shamelessly flirting with Ego's character Chartreuse,
yeah.
and yeah, yeah, and
They got a thing going on.
mhm.
We have Molly as the woman who took her Ambien a little too early, so Molly's character is just dragging through the airport.
Yeah, she's like literally like floating through and saying, "Oh, no one give me a white wine, please."
Yeah, yeah. And we have James Austin Johnson as the gentle parenting father and his out of control child who's like, the kid's throwing a temper tantrum and he's like, "Well, hey, maybe this isn't the best way for you to express these feelings." And the kid playing his little girl gets one of the biggest laughs of the episode when she just says, "Screw you, bitch."
Because
Which
you don't expect a kid to say that.
loved that. Love that. Hey, look,
Hey,
I'm an easy mark for kids swearing.
cursing children, you get an A+ from me immediately.
Comedy gold,
That's
comedy
right,
gold, and
gold Jerry,
I love that kid got a higher paycheck because she got to say "screw you, bitch" on national TV.
worth every penny.
Yeah, she did a nice job. She did
Yeah,
a nice job.
uh,
We
yeah,
have Michael Longfellow as the guy who wants a pat down for all the wrong reasons, and he's like telling the TSA guy played by Dismukes, he's like, "Hey, you can use the front of your hand if you want."
Why would I want that?
Yeah, because you know how the TSA agents, they have to pat you down with the back of their hands because, like,
Hmm.
if you graze against naughty bits with the back of your
Yeah.
hand, it obviously doesn't take.
Gobble gobble.
It has to be on the palm,
Yeah.
for it to be violating.
Meow. And
That's just such a weird logic, isn't it?
it really is. But hey, whatever, man. I just got to get on this plane to live.
Whatever, if it reduces the number of lawsuits, I guess it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, whatever's clever.
Yeah,
And then we get this a scene that I kind of liked where we see the only people that are happy traveling. That's the gay flight attendants who are estranged from their families. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
we get our Marcelo coming out saying, and his other fellow gay
Flight attendant.
flight attendant, and they're doing all this choreographed dance moves and
Yeah,
really putting their backs into it. I was like, oh damn,
yeah.
all right.
Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
We also had Punky is a woman who refuses to check a bag, so she's like wearing all the clothing she's taken with her because she had to pay $40 for the ticket, and they want to pay her. They want to charge her $75 to check her bag, and she is not having that.
Yeah, that I will admit that is like I said, me and my wife we traveled early this year, and yeah, that is a thing. We had to pay like
Hmm.
$75 each for like one suitcase for each of
That's
us just to
nuts.
put it like I don't know, like I was like, what is this what we're doing now? I just
Yeah,
put it on the
it's
plane.
crazy. That's crazy.
It is pretty bonkers. I will admit
Eh,
that. I mean, but I didn't go to the extremes of putting on everything I own, but
yeah,
it did cross my mind.
you didn't Joey Tribbiani it.
Yes, I did not Joey Tribbiani it, but I understand. I get the logic. I get
Yeah,
the logic.
yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I get it. And we had Sarah as the woman who's about to go viral, which I think this was based on a real viral video of
Yeah,
some woman throwing some tantrum on an airplane, which I was vaguely aware of this. I think I saw that this was posted, but I don't really watch those viral videos. I'm not particularly entertained by watching people like going ape shit in public places. So,
yeah, me neither. Like it was like a thing I saw where like some woman on a plane was like screaming that person isn't real. Like I don't know if they were
uh-huh,
having an actual meltdown or if
uh-huh.
that was just like some performance art they were doing for
Yeah.
so they could go viral for the gram. And like I don't know, like the way people just kind of perform now in public, just so people can videotape it, just so they can have their little 15 minutes of fame. It's like I can't with this. It's just
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
like is anything real anymore? Was she really having a meltdown, or is this just like some performance thing so she could have her viral moment? Like
Yeah, I
why are
don't
we
know.
doing this, people? Why is life
Yeah.
a performance now? Like
Why is life?
why is life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So but this sketch overall, yeah, I thought it was cute. Like I thought it was fine. Like, I know. Yeah. To use
Should we just cut to the chase and be like, this is a cute episode.
it
Good night,
was.
everybody.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. But yeah, I thought it was a cute episode. Like it's a I mean it's a premise we've seen before, like I mentioned with the Halloween
Yeah.
episode. But like I thought there was enough
But
in it.
these sketches usually work for me, and I thought this was entertaining. I think I was probably most entertained by the gentle parenting father and his out of control
Mm.
child, because I mean we've all seen that,
Oh, indeed.
with the parent who is not doing enough to control their child, their rowdy child.
Yeah,
Um,
I just look away, shake my head, and
because nobody wants to see that,
yeah,
and it's uncomfortable for everybody. The parents embarrassed, the other people are embarrassed and bothered, and
yes,
it's just bad news all around.
yes, we're all
Uh,
embarrassed for you, sir or
yeah,
madam.
and this sketch, by the way, written by Mike D. Senzo, Jimmy Fowley, Jake Nordwind, and Kira O'Sullivan.
Yes. But
So,
yeah, not a bad sketch. Not too so
mhm.
far so good. It's like all right, nice little show so far.
Yeah. Next, we have a pre-tape from Please Don't Destroy Ramen Order.
Ramen order.
With back in the writing room, SNL writing night, they decide to order some food from Ramen Fever, which is this new place they're hearing all about. They're excited about trying it, and then suddenly John gets a phone call, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Sophia," and it's his girlfriend Sophia, and she breaks up with him, and he's like, "Oh no," and he's just shattered. He's like, "We're supposed to move in together. Oh no."
Yeah,
Oh no! And meanwhile, Martin and Ben they still want to order their food.
yeah. They have to sort of feign, caring about their friend
Yeah,
while all the
but they're
while.
really much more about ordering from Ramen Fever. They're trying to like just sort of subtly complete their order while still trying to sort of reassure John.
Yes, because as Martin says, I got a prescription, and the only ramen is more fever.
Yeah,
Which I appreciated that little line.
yeah, and they're trying to sort of subtly like be like, oh, do we want to get like a pork roll with this?
Yeah, add pork bun.
Yeah.
Uh,
And John's meanwhile having a crisis, and I love at one point in the sketch it just pans over to a photo of him with Sofia Vergara.
that's his
And,
girlfriend.
yeah, and that was his girlfriend, and he's been with her for like 2 years. uh,
I also like the music cues in this
uh-huh,
sketch where like every time they're talking to him, it's like, oh no, I'm so sorry. But then as they try to slyly like order from the ramen place, like they play, there's like a little techno dance beat in the background because they're
yeah,
so happy
yeah,
to want to order ramen.
yeah,
Yeah, and of course when they get to the part where they say, oh, can you pay? And like neither one of them has money, so Ben is
Yeah,
like, hey,
and one of them paid the last time, and so they just like Ben's like, "Hey, John, how about a hug?" And as they're hugging, he like pulls John's wallet out of his back pocket.
yeah, and he gives it
Yeah,
to Martin, and they just
yeah,
pay with his money.
yeah. And I love that. Like John's like, "Oh, thanks, guys. It's really good to have friends at a time like this." And then Martin sends a text message to Ben saying like, "Oh, I hope I hope the food gets here soon because I don't want to hear this bitch like complain anymore." And it reads the text out loud, and he's like, "Wait, is that about me?"
Yeah, and then Ben smashes his phone.
Yeah, yeah. This,
Yeah.
I thought this was very funny. I think best short of the season so far that the Please Don't Destroy Boys have done. Probably sketch of the night for me.
Yeah, I'd say that. It's nice,
Yeah,
short, gets to the point of the joke. Yeah, I dug this
yeah,
one. This was a good one.
yeah.
And
It's a good one.
yeah, yeah. Next up, we got our musical guest, Tate McRae, or
Tate
yeah,
McRae.
with
I was not familiar with her at all
nope,
beforehand.
me neither. With her song
She's Canadian. I know this.
Canadian pop star. Yeah, she did two songs, Grave and Greedy.
Yeah,
Um,
both all lowercase. So
yes, because that's how the kids are spelling
that's
words now.
that seems to be like the in thing now because like Boy
Yeah.
Genius is doing the all lowercase thing too.
Yeah, I have noticed that. Like whenever like I go on
Yeah,
Spotify and try to look at like a new album and look at their
yeah.
track listing, they're all in lowercase. It's like, oh, is this like a thing now? Like when people used to
Like
spell
Gen Z, it's got big Cummings energy, man.
very wow, I don't even understand that reference, but
Oh,
I'll
Cummings, he was a poet, and he wrote all his stuff in all lowercase, even his name.
oh, okay.
So
That's
yeah,
cute. But yeah,
that is like the only thing I remember about Cummings. But
yeah, but like I do
more than you.
yeah, you beat me. All right there, word boy with your words, knowing words.
SMRT.
Yes, SMART. All right, college boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed that. Is that like a thing now? Like the same way back in the day, people used to spell their like S's with a dollar sign in their names.
I don't know. I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, I get that. It seems to be the trendy thing right now.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
Please, youngs, explain this to us.
Yes, explain it to us olds.
Explain
Um,
it to us olds.
yeah. But Tate McRae, I did not take too many notes. I thought this was
It
okay.
was,
It's
it's basically like club music.
yeah.
Very, very kind of techno-y. It sounded kind of auto-tuned to me. It was her numbers. The first number especially was like way more about her dancing than her singing. Honestly, it looked like she was just lip syncing to a pre-recorded track
I'm
to me.
positive. Yeah, I mean, I have no proof, but it definitely looked like she was lip syncing to a pre-recorded track.
Yeah, especially in that first number because it's like, yeah, you can't really dance that much and sing at the same time,
Yeah,
and
it just seems very produced, and like her dance
yeah,
scenes were kind of. She seemed like a pop star in a movie that would parody pop stars. If that
hmm
makes any sense,
hmm
like her dance moves
yeah,
were kind of like a lot of flailing and hair whipping. It kind of reminded me of like Elizabeth Berkley and Showgirls, where it's just like a
yeah,
lot of herky jerky, violent motions, dancing, just like oh, I'm sexy, and
yeah,
yeah, just like that with auto tune and lip syncing, and
yeah.
it just
I'm just
seemed
like,
like
why are we even doing this live, people?
yeah, it very much.
And also, like, why
Mm.
is SNL letting anybody lip sync after the whole fiasco with what's her name
Ashley Simpson.
Simpson, Ashley Simpson?
I
Yeah.
don't know. It seems like this younger generation is okay with lip syncing. It's not as big a scandal as it used to be.
Well,
It's
I mean,
weird.
yeah, like I guess it's fine if you want to do that, but don't bring them on a show like SNL.
Yeah, like I mean, I
You
thought
know,
yeah, I mean,
like
like
what's the point?
yeah, no, I agree. Like I mean, just last week we had Boy Genius that did a whole live show, and it was you could
Right?
feel the energy, and it was just like pretty fantastic. And like
Yeah,
this is just like a whole 180, where it's just seemed like very planned out and like auto tuned and just produced to all hell, and like it
yeah,
just all the life just kind of gets sucked out of it because of that.
yeah. Did nothing for me really. It
No,
just,
yeah, same.
I mean, not my type of music to begin with, and just honestly, like I was watching most closely just to see if I could, catch, things that were giving away that she was lip syncing, which I'm 90% sure she was.
I'll go to 95. Like
Okay, yeah.
I
mean, I'm being generous, but
so am I.
yeah, it's
but yeah,
yeah.
Tate McRae didn't win me over.
No, not at all, not at all.
But next up, we got ourselves a weekend update.
Weekend update: Colin Jost, Michael Che. You know
Hey,
the deal.
you know the
Che.
you know what the time, son.
Yeah.
You know what's up. They got jokes. They're talking about the president and the Chinese president and
Yeah.
all those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Call people the dictators.
yeah. One of my favorite parts was when Che was talking about how Tim Scott dropped out, so now the
Mm-hmm.
black Republican frontrunner is the Blacks for Trump's guys, and the audience
Yeah.
kind of gave him a half-hearted response, and he was
Yeah.
like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah, I love that Che just doesn't give a fuck when one of his jokes gets a weird response or doesn't go over well. He's just like, "Hey, whatever. That was funny, you fuckers."
Right. And there was that other one he said where he's talking about how men die 6 years before women, and like the
Yeah,
audience, mostly women, gives like whoops and cheers at
yeah,
that part, and then he goes with the punchline, which is saying, "Oh, that just proves that men are dying a little bit every time we have to listen to one of your boring ass stories." Uh,
such a Michael Che joke.
yeah, like when after because after he did the setup and there was like all those whoops and cheers, in my
Yeah,
mind I was like, "Oh, you should not have done that because
no, no.
he's gonna have a punchline that's just gonna
It's like waving a steak in front of a tiger.
yeah like do you not know what he does?"
Yeah. Have you not gotten how this works now after all these years?
Yeah, come on. And
He had another joke at some point in the newscast, and I didn't write down notes about this, but it was talking about Trump, and then like just at the tail end, he just kind of throws in, "Oh, he's gonna win."
yeah,
You know that, right?
yeah. I
And
was like,
just like he's so positively cynical that Trump is gonna win again, and oh my god.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, overall, solid stuff between the weekend update guys,
Yeah.
Justin Shea.
I think my favorite joke out of the whole weekend update was where Che was talking about the new Supreme Court ethics rules, which is money up front, no kissing on the mouth. Which
I like it.
so funny. So
I
funny.
like it. And
Yeah.
so on this episode we get 3 weekend update desk segments. First,
Yeah, making up for lost time, man,
I
because
know.
we've had a few weeks of just one desk segment on the update desk.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun just to see 3 for a change. I don't know if I'd want to see 3 every week, but it was fun for this week.
Yeah, for this week it's fine. Like 2 is the fine number. 3
That's
is
the optimal number,
yeah,
yes.
3 is a little much. So the first one we got Boney Yang coming out as George Santos.
George Santos, this dude's had a week.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, yeah. The report about him came out, and oh boy, is
Ooh.
I mean, we knew he was bad. We didn't know it was quite this bad. He's spent like campaign funds on plastic surgery apparently, and on OnlyFans, and wow.
Yeah, he's just like the ultimate. It's like it's not even a question as to whether he's a scammer or not. Like it's pretty much a
Yeah,
fact.
yeah.
Like he also announced that he would not seek re-election, which of course.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, it was really bad. It was really bad, and yeah, there's talk about his expulsion from the Senate, and they might have the votes for it too. So
So
be
here's
interesting to see how that all shakes out.
this might be the last time Bowen gets to do this impression. We'll see.
Yeah,
But yeah, so like Bowen Yang comes out doing his George Santos thing. I mean, he didn't do that much with this impression. It's basically like a lot of the same things we've seen him do before.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, it still works overall. I think.
yeah, overall.
He basically plays Santos as a sassy bitch, as Bowen is wont to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I liked how he mocked Colin of like, oh, and you with your perfectly tailored suits that make it look like you have a perfect body, and then Colin has to read the joke. but I do have a perfect body.
Ladies.
And you can tell he's like so self-conscious about reading that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
But
that's why they want him to read it, because he's so
yeah,
self-conscious about it.
because they just enjoy that cringe moment.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't take too many notes on this, but yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Bowen kind of doing Bowen thing, talking about how he invented being gay, and
Hmm.
he stops the interview to take a call to be in Lady
Yeah, on his
Mama
baby phone,
on his
which
baby phone. Yeah. Um,
looks like a swaddling baby. Because remember when he was carrying the baby around and with no explanation as
yeah.
to where the baby came from, whose baby it was, and
Yeah. No one stopped him. No one. No. No one. No one just like took that baby out of his hands. Like, who?
just
Give me
just
this.
a congressman carrying a baby around, nothing to see here.
Yep. Yeah. Just business as usual.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, overall, I thought it was, I guess to use the word again, cute. I thought like, all right,
Yeah, it was all right. This segment, by the way, written by Alison Gates, Kent Sublette, and Bowen Yang, of course.
yeah. And next up, that's segment number 2, Draymond Green on his NBA suspension, and we have
Yeah.
Devin Walker coming out as Draymond Green, who plays for the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did you hear about this story? I knew nothing about this story before this segment
yeah, I
because,
did it.
sports.
Yes, because of sports. Yeah, so I did like a little bit of research on this one. So basically,
Hmm.
about 3 or 4 days ago, the Golden State Warriors played against Minnesota Timberwolves, and
Yeah.
during the game, two players on opposite teams got into a bit of a shoving match. Things got a little
Hmm.
bit heated. One of the players, Rudy Gobert, came in to break up the fight between the two players. Then Draymond Green gets Rudy Gobert in a headlock and drags him away.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't even the guy he was originally fighting with. It was the guy trying to break up the fight?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, no,
Wow.
there's footage up on. You can find it online. Yeah, like basically Draymond Green just walks in, comes into a guy breaking up the fight, and just grabs the dude in a chokehold and drags him away.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this segment because it gave me all the information I needed to know. I mean, it was usually when somebody's coming on as like a sports star, when they first introduced this, I was like, oh, this is going to be Keenan as whoever this person is, and then I was surprised to see that it was Devin Walker, and then they described it, and I'm like, okay, well, this guy obviously has an anger problem here because he has assaulted people a lot, and he's been suspended for 5 games because of this, and his coaches said, yeah, he deserved it, and he was right to be suspended.
Yes, but of course, as Devin Walker says, as Draymond Green, yeah, I choked the guy during the game, but I was trying to kill him. So
Yeah.
I think I showed some restraint there.
Yeah, yeah, and they talk about, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't bear grudges. I just never forget when somebody wrongs me."
Yeah. And then I think Che brings up the fact that he kicked a guy in the groin once, and
Hmm.
then of course Devin says, "Well, I had to kick him in the groin. That's where his nuts are."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This was very funny. I like how he presented Draymond Green as so unrepentant, and it's fun to see Jay as the voice of reason. Yeah, I mean, honestly, because he just likes stirring the pot and being chaos incarnate.
Yes.
Um,
But yeah,
but
like I thought this was a good little showcase for Devin Walker too. Like he's been,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, like
this was funny. I like this, and I don't care for when they do the sports personalities. I understand, you have to do that because sports are a big thing for a lot of people. It's just usually just goes right over my head because I have no context for it. But here they gave me the context for it, so
yeah,
I enjoyed it on that aspect.
yeah, he's a basketball player, gets into a lot of fights, has anger issues.
Yep.
Like I like that one line where Che was like, "Hey, don't you choked a guy during a game? Don't you feel bad about that?" And then it's like, "Oh yeah, no, Che, I always feel mad." It's like, no, I said bad.
Yeah, yeah. And I like how he's like making a list of adding people to his enemies list, and he like starts adding Che at one point. That was funny.
Yeah, yeah. I like this part. Yeah, I think this was probably the strongest weekend update segment of the night. I'd say.
Yeah, this was, by the way, written by Michael Che, Alex English, Gary Richardson, and Devin Walker.
Nice, nice. And
Yeah.
lastly, we got our third death segment. We got uh, what do we got? Oh, we got Remember
Remember
Lizards.
Lizards.
Yes, Remember
Yeah.
Lizards.
Yeah, James Dawson Johnson and Andrew Dismukes as SNL's backup musical guests,
Yeah.
who are if their name sounds vaguely familiar, it's because they're kind of like Imagine Dragons. And they play in the same genre, which is uplifting, kid-friendly hip hop / arena rock with a pumped-up edge.
Yeah, I had to go back and pause it just to make sure I got all those
Me
words
too.
down.
I was like, I gotta write that shit down. Okay.
Yeah, and it's basically J.A.J. and the Smukes making fun of Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, which I realized while watching this, I was like, I don't think I've ever heard any of Imagine Dragons music, or if I have, I do not remember it at all. I remember the name, but
I know there's that one song I've heard in commercials, and that's the
uh-huh.
only reason I know the song that they were making fun of. That you make me a believer. That one, like I know
Oh
that.
yeah, okay, yeah, I've heard that in commercials.
Yeah, that's
If you put a gun to my head, I would not have been able to tell you that was Imagine Dragons.
yeah,
And also, I probably would have questioned why you were putting a gun to my head and asking me to name who the musical group was. I'm like, whoa, slow your roll a bit.
yeah. I have anger issues.
Maybe just ask me. You don't really have to bring firearms into this.
Hey, this is the best way to get you to answer my question. You whip out a gun. That's
Is it?
that's how
Is it?
that's how I was taught. That's how I'm going to teach my kids. That's how my kids are going to teach their kids at gunpoint. That's the best way to get the answers you need from people out of life.
And this is why we now record this podcast remotely.
Oh yes.
I get fewer threats to my life.
Oh boy, that's why we had to put the metal detector in the studios, because
Yep.
I was packing
Yep.
I was packing heat, because some people don't care about America. Who when you want to reserve your Second Amendment.
This
Right.
is why I have to pat you down with the backs of my hands now.
You can use the front if you want to. Call back.
Yeah. So, this was, it was just a nice, fun bit of absurdity from Dismukes and JAJ.
Yeah, this seems like a sketch they probably wrote like 2 in the morning, where they were just making
Yeah.
fun of Imagine Dragon songs when it's hilarious.
Yeah. I enjoy it when these two get together. They have a nice offbeat chemistry, and
Yeah,
it's just fun to see them come on and like, oh yeah, okay, we're gonna do this bizarre shit that we thought of now.
yeah,
So,
like they're basically the new Sudeikis and Forte for me. Like once they pair up,
yeah.
when they pair up, magic happens. I think.
I saw some people making that comparison on the Twitter sphere. Yes.
Yes, yeah. So again, like I like this. I thought it was pleasant and goofy enough. This part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not bad.
It
So
was agreeable.
an agreeable episode.
Yeah, that's. I mean, damning them with fake brains, but it was good.
Absolutely, and that's our weekend update. Like overall, not too shabby. I thought it was a step up
Yeah.
from last week's.
It was a solid weekend update. Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Next up, we got
next we have Castaway.
Yes.
This was God, so many writers on this. This is Mike DiCenzo, Jake Nordwin, Sierra O'Sullivan, and then in parentheses, concept by Breck Denny and Jake Nordwin. I'm not really certain what that means. I guess it took two people to say like, hey, let's do a parody of Castaway, and then three people, one of whom was the same as the first two people, said, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. And then they wrote it up.
Yeah, a lot of cooks in the kitchen on this one.
I'm assuming that's how it went. Yeah. I mean, so.
I can see that. Yeah. So, so basically in this sketch, we have Chloe Fineman and Dismukes as a married couple. And
yeah, they are married, just like in all my fan fiction.
Yes. Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
And and we find out that Chloe invited her ex-fiance over to dinner, and the reason she did that is because she thought her ex-fiance was dead because he was involved in a terrible plane crash where his plane exploded, but it turns out he was alive on a deserted island for years.
For 5 years, and then she just discovered that he was alive 2 days ago. So, yeah. You remember the movie Castaway? Like that.
Exactly.
Chloe's Helen Hunt.
Yes, exactly.
And Jason Momoa as Tom Hanks.
The role he was born to play.
Yeah, and they talk about, oh well, he has been stranded on this desert island for 5 years, so he's probably like half wasted away and all this, and then he answers the door and it's this big ass Jason Momoa guy.
Yes, and of course immediately Chloe is warm for his form, as the phrase goes.
Yeah. And like when Jason Momoa steps in the door, I was like, Chloe looks so fucking tiny next to him.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm sure
She's just like this little teeny tiny Chloe Fineman.
I mean, like I don't know how tall. I think she's actually pretty short in person.
Yeah,
So
she's
like,
gotta be.
so when
Yeah.
you compare her or put her next to this fucking mountain of a man, she looks like
Yeah,
even
and I'm
smaller.
not sure how tall Jason Momoa is. It's got to be well over 6 feet.
Let me look it up. But yeah. But yeah, like so when
Yeah,
you put an
but
already,
and he's a huge man. I was just like, it was just so striking, and yeah, and it's and Dismukes is like this wimpy milk toasty husband. And he's like, well, hey, I bet this is awkward to you because I'm married to your old girlfriend and stuff, and we have this house together, and yeah, it's pretty clear pretty early on that Chloe is ready to drop Andrew Dismukes and just get back with the Momoa.
yeah, because I have noticed they do this quite a bit on SNL. Like whenever they have a host that's like a big, beefy alpha
Big
man,
slab of beefcake,
yeah, they always put in like a cuckold sketch in there somewhere where like
they kind of do. I think they did one last time Momoa hosted too.
yeah, like I know they,
or at least I remember some other sketch where I think it was like a medieval thing, and he whipped off his shirt in that one too. Because
right, yeah, like they do it quite a bit. Like I remember they did it on the Travis Kelce episode
mm-hmm.
and the Michael B. Jordan episode. Whenever they get like a beefy dude to host, they always put in a sketch where he basically bones another guy's woman.
yeah.
All right. Also, update: Jason Momoa is 6'4". Chloe Fineman. See, one says 5'3" and another says 5'5". So, but either way.
Okay, so he's like a good foot taller than her, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. So of course, with this sketch, we see Dismukes being very intimidated by this big beefy man next to his wife, and
how'd you pass the time on that island? Probably yanked it a lot.
I also
very funny line. I mean, good enough line to I would say even like be put in like the promo Twitter post for a popular SNL podcast even.
Oh, I was trying to find that. Like I couldn't find. I would have,
or perhaps even an unpopular one like ours.
Oh, I was trying to. I was trying to find that GIF, but I couldn't. I would have put it in there if I could find it.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Well, I mean, you quoted it, and that's the main thing.
Yes, absolutely. And I also did like that line Dismukes had, where he's talking about how him and his wife do make love. In that one
all the positions. Yeah.
Yes, and of course she corrects me saying no, we only make one in love position, side to side, both lying down. That way, everyone can relax.
Sure, I get it.
That says a lot. That line says so much.
It really does. I enjoyed the specifics of that. That was funny.
And of course, then we get to the point of the sketch where Jason Momoa accidentally spills wine in his shirt. Of course, that means he has to take it off. Hoops and hollers from the audience.
Whips the shirt off.
Yeah, whips the audience to a frenzy. And then, of course, Dismukes rips his shirt off. Dismukes is in pretty good shape.
Inspiring an equal frenzy. I mean, like he got a fair amount of cheers himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something for everybody in this sketch, I guess.
Something for everybody. And of course, he challenges Momoa to a push-up contest, saying winner gets his wife. And then, of course, the wife says, no, don't do that. That's ridiculous. Winner gets me and the house.
Yeah.
Another that's a pretty good line. I like that.
Yeah. And Momoa wins the push-up contest. And then, by the end of the sketch, he's like, he's got Chloe kind of like wrapped around his torso, and he's like whipping her around.
I believe the term is straddling.
Straddling. Thank you. I was blanking on that term.
Mm-hmm. Overall, not a bad sketch. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
It was funny. Performed well. It was kind of interesting. I was like, I think Jason Momoa is off his Aquaman training a little bit. I'm just like, I was not seeing the abs I was expecting to see, and this is not a criticism at all, because like Jason Momoa on his worst day looks better than me on my best.
Yeah,
so
like I was kind of.
I'm not going to be like, oh, he's let himself go, because I know like you have to do like insane training to get into like superhero shape for those movies.
Yeah, exactly. I was kind of thinking that too, but but
Right.
then I realized, oh, as I'm critiquing his body, this can of soda is balanced perfectly on my big old belly. So
Right.
maybe just
Sure.
maybe I should shut the
Yeah.
fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I was just like, hey, he's he's off his Aquaman training, and I'm basically like, hey, good for him.
Yeah.
The dude deserves to enjoy a beer or two.
Yes, he was off his Aquaman training. I was never on my Aquaman training. I was never on any training.
Same. Yes.
But still, he's still a big old beefy mountain.
Yeah, because I mean, I know. Yeah, it is insane what actors and actresses have to do to get into that superhero shape,
Yeah.
and they like just train like madmen for like the day or two where they film their shirtless scenes.
Yeah, no,
and then they can let it go a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember how the internet like lost it when Chris Pratt showed his shirtless frame for Peter Quill in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh
Everybody
yeah.
everybody was like, "Whoa, what?"
Yeah, because he was kind of the fat guy in
Parks and
well,
Rec.
not the fat, but like a little chubby, maybe
Yeah,
pleasantly plump in Parks and Recreation.
doughy.
And when Kumail Nanjiani got absolutely fucking jacked for the Eternals movie, that was like, wow, this is almost weird.
Yeah, I was like, "What?"
Like, you're a comedian, you're not supposed to be jacked.
Yeah, it's like when you see Carrot Top jacked. It's like, what? This makes no
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, like.
It's like a dog walking on its hind legs. This makes no sense.
Or when Joe Piscopo became like a bodybuilder, it's just there's just something weird about comedians being super fit.
Yeah,
It's just not supposed to be.
yeah,
It's just there's something wrong with that.
yeah. You hear that, Matt Rife? There's something wrong with you.
It's just odd. It wrinkles my brain a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, come on, just put down the weights, pick up a pen, write some jokes.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Yeah, come on. Next up, we got another pre-tape, Untold: Battle of the Sexes.
Yeah, this is basically playing off the Bobby Riggs, Billie Jean King thing. They did the movie a few years ago with Steve Carell and Emma Stone, whose name may come up again later on in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's playing on this. We got Sarah as Charna Lee Diamond, who's battling the sexism in the tennis world, and she's like, "Hey, any man who thinks he can beat me, I'm ready to go." And they finally choose Jason Momoa as Ronnie Dunster, who is like the biggest man to ever play tennis.
Exactly. And so then of course the two of them square off in 1969 playing tennis. Ronnie Dunster serves the ball.
Yep.
The tennis ball literally goes through Charna.
He drives a tennis ball straight through her body. She's got a little Looney Tunes style hole in her torso.
Absolutely.
And at one point they do that that shot right through her torso, and we see Andrew Dismuke's his head through there, and he's like, "Hey." It's like in the Sam Raimi movie, The Quick and the Dead, or the cover of the third issue of Hard Boiled, if you're a comics fan. Just seeing somebody right through the wound.
Right. And but that doesn't stop her. She's like, serve again, do it again. So Ronnie serves another ball, and that tennis ball decapitates.
Yeah, takes off her head. Takes her head clean off.
And I will admit, I did like the little gag of because we see Devin Walker as the ball boy who runs across the court to get the loose balls, and then
that was terrific.
Yeah, and then as her head comes off, he runs across the court to pick up her head and runs back. Yeah. I was like, oh shit, this is a human head.
Very funny body language from Devin Walker too. I mean, I don't think he even had any dialogue, but he contributed strongly to the sketch.
Yeah, absolutely. I like this sketch quite a bit. I actually thought it was a little too short. I think it could have gone a little bit longer.
You wanted like a third thing to happen to her?
Yeah, like I think they could have gone full Monty Python and a Holy Grail and like taken off one of her legs and then have her head go off, like like Black Knight, like Black Knight style, it's just a flesh wound type of thing.
I didn't really feel like it was missing anything, but I see what you're saying there.
Yeah, like I feel like it needed a
I
third beat, but I could be just
Yeah,
me.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice to see like Sarah's body horror stuff make it back into the show again, because it's been a while since we had one of those. It
Yeah.
feels like maybe since that Christmas sketch that they did with when Steve Martin and Martin Short were hosting,
Oh,
when
right, and the
everybody was getting dismembered, when Scrooge was like tossing coins out the window.
yeah, it has been a
That's the
while.
last one I remember.
Yeah, I think that's yeah, that might be the last time she did it too. Yeah, so it is good to see her stick to her body horror roots. And
Yeah.
I'll say, like, I was very impressed with like the archival footage they shot, the way it, the very documentary now style like shot of it, the way
Uh huh. Uh
like the
huh.
grainy 1969 footage it looked pretty impressive, I'd say, and like the
Yeah.
costumes and everything. I thought that was like it
Yeah.
was pretty spot on.
Yeah. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
It was entertaining stuff.
Absolutely. I kind of wish the ending was a little bit stronger, but
Uh huh.
overall, I did like the sketch quite a bit.
Yeah, and I like that we also had Jason as Ronnie Dunster in the present day and saying like, yeah, that was the weirdest tennis match I was ever a part of.
Yeah, they also cut to that, and like yeah, like modern day talking head interviews. Like they had Chloe Fineman as Gloria Steinem saying,
Yes.
I believe Sharna Lee is the reason that there hasn't been a female president in the United States."
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot to lay on one person, but
Yeah, I
okay.
was like Steinem, damn.
Et tu, Gloria Steinem, et tu.
Yeah, and I did like the line where when Ronnie Dunster first puts that ball through her, she's like, "Oh my God, did I ruin it? Did I ruin it for women? Oh no!"
Yeah, yeah. That was funny. This was written by Mike DeCenzo, Please Don't Destroy Boys, Martin Hurley, John Higgins, Ben Marshall, Jake Nordwin, and Sarah Sherman. So,
Yeah, of course, this has Sherman's fingerprints all over it.
oh yeah, a lot of writers there.
Hmm.
So
And yeah, our final sketch of the night, our 10-1, cab driver.
yes,
This is a pretty simple sketch. Momoa plays a cab driver. He picks up
hmm
Keenan from the airport. It's Thanksgiving weekend, and he drives him to his destination. And
and that's it.
yeah, that's the end.
That's it. Kind of an uneventful sketch.
Yeah, I was like, huh, all right, slice of life,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Uh,
No, we have Jason as the cab driver. He gets a call from his doctor. They're like, "Oh, we got your test results back," and Keenan's like, "Oh, you should probably take this privately, or not do it on speaker." And Jason Momoa was like, "No, no, no, it's fine." And he finds out his cholesterol is high. He's positive for herpes.
yes,
He has something called hepatitis gold.
it's a great name for a
So
band.
it really is. Yeah,
Hepatitis Gold.
yeah, yeah. He's he's got all sorts of things going on, and things are going to start falling off the man.
Yeah, and like we find out, like the cab drive's a little kind of a little loopy. Like I think at one
Hmm
point his doctor says, "Oh, he's legally blind," and he's
Yeah,
like, "Oh, word, like Reese Witherspoon," and it's like, "No, that's legally blonde." You
yeah,
dummy.
yeah,
At one point, the doctor says, "Oh, you got blood sugar," and he was confused, like, "Oh, that makes sense," because I said because like I originally heard that from like a sassy Southern person, so I thought they were saying you got low blood sugar,
yeah, yeah.
and then
So stupid it was funny.
yeah, there's a lot of like stupid little lines that are kind of so stupid it's funny, like the
Yeah,
doctors ask him if he's sexually active, and him saying, "No, I just kind of lie there."
yeah, yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That was good stuff.
So
Um,
there's a lot of that. I mean, it seemed like the audience wasn't quite on board with it, but I thought Momoa did enough to like kind of sell it because like he's pretty much the funny man in the sketch, and like Keenan is
yeah,
kind of like the straight guy.
it didn't blow me away, but I also enjoyed it. It was
Right.
it was good stuff. I thought,
Yeah, I thought and I also
or
like
well, decent stuff. I
it's
will say.
decent. Like I did like
Yeah,
the line like once Keenan first got into the cab driver asks him, "Hey, have you ever been to DC before?" And then Keenan's like, "DC? I thought we were in Albany." And he's like, "Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, we are. I'm just asking if you ever been to DC before. It's
yeah,
just a crazy town, from what I've heard." And I do like how it ends with Keenan being so not wanting to be in his cab anymore. Him thinking about jumping out of the cab while it's in motion,
yeah,
and then he realizes the cab has only been going 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, and so he actually gets out of the cab.
He literally gets out the cab and
next
walks
to the cab,
away.
and he is keeping pace with the cab.
Exactly.
Which, again, I know I've used this word a million times this episode. It was cute.
Yeah, and that's the episode. I think that's the best way to describe this whole episode. I thought it was a cute episode. Nothing cratered out. Nothing blew me away.
It didn't blow me away, but I think it was a pretty solid episode of SNL overall.
I would say that, yeah. Overall solid. It got there. You know, like
it's just nice to watch an episode of SNL where I didn't once be like, how did this get on the air? What the hell? They had nothing better than this?
Yeah. Honestly,
what were they thinking?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, probably the most, I guess, disagreeable thing I thought about the episode was the musical guest, and like,
yeah, that was the only bit I wasn't real fond of. But, you know, whatever. I don't typically watch SNL for the musical guests, so
right.
I'm fine if I don't like it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was the only thing I was salty on. But other than that, yeah, all the sketches I thought were decent, cute, pleasant. You know,
it was nice.
Nice, medium. You know, amicable. What other synonyms can I throw in here?
You know, workmanlike.
There you go. Serviceable. I'll say that.
No, I would say it was better than that. I mean, it was a good episode. It just wasn't. It's not one for the ages.
Yeah,
let's say that.
Absolutely, not one for the ages, but serviceable all around. And and I did notice. Oh no, you retweeted it on our SNL account where when they did the good nights, the sign that Colin held up that I honestly didn't notice until the next day.
Yeah, it said, "We love you, Dana and Paula," and you know, unfortunately, Dana Carvey had some very sad news to share a few days ago, where his son Max, I believe it was Dex. Excuse me, apologies for getting that wrong. His son Dex overdosed this week, and he was all like 32.
Jesus,
and just such a sad story. And
yeah,
it's the saddest thing for a parent to outlive their child.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just really tragic, and I mean, it really came out of nowhere. And you know, I mean, I can't imagine that, but yeah, it's. I think when I found out, I think I put it out on our Twitter account. You know, our thoughts and prayers and condolences go to Dana Carvey and his family, because I mean, it's just a horrible time. But I also I liked that Colin did that. He had put out the sign to show that SNL and the cast and crew at the shows were.
Yeah, I mean, like, kudos to whoever had a hand in that, and that was a lovely, lovely gesture.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got to be just such a tough time for the Carvey family right now.
Yeah, it's rough.
It was also fun in the good nights where Jason Momoa is like so pumped up. We see him like actually pick up Chloe Fineman and Ego.
Yeah. Wait, he picked up both
at the same time.
Damn. Wow.
He's manly.
He's a manly man. Muy macho.
He's a manly man. Are you looking forward to the new Aquaman movie? Are you going to see it, or are you not too excited about it? Where are you landing on that?
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I enjoyed the first one. I thought it was a lot of fun. I remember thinking it was kind of overstuffed because it had a lot of stuff in there. You know.
Yeah. Like I thought the first one was okay, but yeah, I don't have I really don't see myself like getting pumped up to see this new one. Like I really don't know how well it's gonna do, because I mean, you know,
I don't. In my gut, I don't feel like it's going to do too great. One, because it feels like they maybe missed their window a little bit for the sequel, and also just because, you know, James Gunn has taken over all the DC stuff, and this is, if I remember correctly, the last movie that was greenlit before James Gunn came on.
Yes, it was.
So it really feels like a lame duck sort of situation here.
Yeah, it's that, and plus all the fact that like it seems like none of the DC movies that came out this year did well. I mean the Shazam sequel and the Flash and
Blue Beetle. And, yeah, they've all underperformed, and I think you know the James Gunn thing is a big part of that, because people are so trained with, I think, the Marvel movies in particular. They're expecting, you know, oh, these are all going to tie together in this cohesive universe, and DC's never quite pulled that off to the degree that Marvel has, and it really feels like the movies don't matter now, because it's just like, well, yeah, they're not going to follow up on anything from these, and maybe that's not a fair standard to judge them by, but
that.
and then you add in the Amber Heard of it all. It's
and like the fact that
it's a big old mess.
Yeah, and the fact that like a lot of people feel like superhero fatigue is a real thing that's kind of set in for a lot of. I mean, because like the Marvels didn't do that well either. It seems like the only superhero movies that did well this year are like probably like Guardians of the Galaxy, the third one, and the Spider-Verse did well, but like everything else people kind of got tired of. And then when they released the trailer, like I watched the trailer, I thought it was like okay, but it didn't really like bowl me over and make me a believer.
Didn't get the pulse racing.
Yeah. So I don't know how well it's gonna do. I'm probably not gonna see it in the theaters, but I don't know. We'll see.
I could see myself waiting for streaming for that one.
Yeah. It seems like everybody's kind of. It feels like everybody's kind of gonna go that way. Like I mean, Blue Beetle's on HBO Max right now, so like I feel like people are just gonna see the trailers and be like, I'll just wait 2 months. It'll be on streaming, and that'll be that.
Yeah. They're not quite the must sees that they used to be, and maybe the superhero trend is slowing down or coming to an end. It's been going strong since like 2008 when we had Iron Man and the Dark Knight, and so it's had a pretty good run.
Yeah.
If this is the end of it, if this is the end of the road of it, I don't think they're ever going to completely go away, but maybe they'll just kind of step back a little bit and be just more like any other genre.
I think that's what they'll do. I think they're going to like take a few steps back, maybe not put out as much superhero content as they used to. Space it out more, maybe even put not as much money into it so don't lose as much money.
But honestly, all it takes is just a few really good ones to get people excited again.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see if they learn any lessons from all these things that happened, or they learned the wrong lessons. We'll find out.
Oh, well, it's Hollywood, so they'll learn the wrong lessons.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And that's the episode of SNL. So let's go to our Twitter.
That's what we thought. What do the people think?
Yeah, let's go to Twitter and find out what the people thought.
Let's find out. Let's find out.
Okay.
Let's see. We got our friend Minette Marati at MinetteM97. She says the theme of tonight seemed to be SNL catching up with internet trends between the Roman Empire and Woman on Plane going viral parts. And somehow Bowen as Santos was the most uninspired part. I am happy, though. Longfellow and everyone in the cast all got good moments tonight.
Yeah, I would say.
I think they did utilize the cast pretty well. I think the only person who seemed kind of underserved off the top of my head was probably Chloe Trost. Wasn't in it much.
Yeah, I mean,
but she had a bit part in the Roman Empire thing.
Yeah, she had that pre-tape and like showing that she can really sing again. Like I really think after her last sketch that was kind of her breakout sketch, the Orphan. I think we're going to see her singing more in the future. Like I think. Like
she'll be the new Cecily Strong.
Yeah, a lot of people are
singing at the top of a drop of a hat.
I think a lot of people are comparing her to that because, like, I mean, they do look a little similar facially, but the fact that they can both sing and Chloe Trost is a really strong singer, I think we're going to see more singing Trost in the future. If I was a betting man, I'd put money on that.
Okay.
I kind of agree with Minette. The George Santos part seemed kind of like a rehash of other times we'd seen Bowen do the Santos thing before. Didn't really feel super inspired. But yeah, I think it was good to see everybody kind of get their moment. I think Trost kind of didn't get her moment, and Molly, she had a moment here. She had a moment here or there. They had a moment here or there, but I still would like to see more of them. So Boardman gets paid. Hello,
yes.
SNL nerds with an apostrophe. I thought this was a fun episode. Jason brought it like last time. The second half of the sketches were really weird in the best way. And if we get our push-ups right, we can win a blonde and a house. Also, no random guests, LOL. Yeah, no celebrity cameos in this episode.
Yeah, that's a great point. I like it when they don't rely on the gratuitous celebrity cameos as a crutch. Yep. So yeah, that's always nice to see. That's nice to see the cast carry a show.
Indeed.
The cast and the host.
Indeed.
Nick Storr says, maybe it was good, but I found it the weakest of the episodes so far. The Roman Empire reveal gave me my first LOL of the night. Remember Lizards gave me my second and final. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't my vibe.
All right. Wow. Fair enough.
So not Nick's vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I agree with it being the worst. I think,
I certainly wouldn't say it was the weakest of the season so far.
I know you think it was like the Bad Bunny was probably weaker. I might agree with that. Maybe the Pete Davidson episode might have been a little bit weaker.
I mean, I guess it's a
I'd say it's a toss up between those two.
It's a toss up between those two. The Bad Bunny thing, the fact that English was the guy's second language, I think that's a lot for an episode to overcome. So
yeah. And we also got another tweet from Ruthenium RG saying music a disappointment. I'm assuming they mean
agree.
I'm assuming they mean the musical guest, not just music in general. But yes, I agree.
I mean, yeah, I think it's safe to say they are talking about the musical guest. And I'm seeing it this person's bio. They are a songwriter and a writer editor, so they know what they are talking about.
Ooh.
I would say. So yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, we were also disappointed in the music. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, it was just a lot of just lip syncing and kind of showgirls like dancing. I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Are you talking like showgirls or showgirls like the movie Showgirls?
Like the movie Showgirls, like the way.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like the way Elizabeth Berkley was just like kind of flailing around, just like it seemed like a lot of that. And
I wouldn't say it was quite as stripperific as Showgirls, but
I don't know. It got close. It got close.
Okay, all right.
That's just me. Maybe that's just me. But yeah. So and that's our thoughts on the episode. So next week they have the week off for Thanksgiving, but after that we got we got a new episode December 2nd.
Yeah, with a returning host, we got Miss Emma Stone, returning for her 5th time hosting SNL, and musical guest Noah Khan, who again unfamiliar to me.
So I looked up Noah Khan. Like he's basically sort of a folk pop musician, like you know, in the vein of Mumford and Sons.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that, but I'm looking way more forward.
Yeah, it sounds like something I would enjoy.
Yeah.
I think I would dig that.
Absolutely. But I'm looking way more forward to seeing Emma Stone again because
it's been a while. It's been like she last was in 2015, I believe.
Actually, no, 2019.
2019. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like that was the episode that she had the some pretty good memorable sketches. I believe that was the one she had the Fashion Coward pre-tape and
I remember that. Yes,
I believe the actress was like a really good pre-tape she did.
Oh wow, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I think now she married somebody from the SNL crew, right? Like it was a writer or director from SNL.
Yes, I'll look it up. I know she definitely married a writer. So like she.
Yeah, I just remember that, and I think it was somebody who had something to do with the actress.
Yeah, I think
like
so.
That was either written or directed by the person she ended up marrying.
Yeah, so like SNL holds a really special place in her heart, and it's basically like almost her second family. And the fact is, she's a really strong host. I feel like I think she's like one of their best hosts. And add to the fact that she's the first female host of the season. We've got nothing but dudes so far. So
yeah, they were certainly due. Okay, she began a relationship with SNL segment director Dave McRae in 2017. They got engaged in December of 2019, married the following year, and they have a kid.
They have
I didn't realize that they had a kid together.
Yeah. Like because we haven't seen too much of Emma Stone in a year or so. Because it doesn't feel like for a while there we kind of saw Emma Stone like everywhere, like in a ton of movies. And then for a while, it's just kind of
not enough for my money. I mean, I enjoy the Emma Stone. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't. I couldn't say the last one I've seen her in. I know she got a lot of awards buzz for that movie, The Favorite, that she did with Olivia Colman.
Yes, absolutely.
But
yeah, but now she has like a few projects out. She has
Mm-hmm.
that Showtime TV show The Curse with Nathan
Yes.
Fielder, and
Yes.
she's in that upcoming Yorgos Lanthimos movie Poor Things with
Okay,
Willem
I
Dafoe.
don't know about that, but all
It's
right.
it's a weird movie. It's I believe it was directed by the same person that did The Favorite, but it's this movie. It has her in it. It has Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe, Gerard Carmichael, Rami Youssef. I think it like plays. It's kind of plays on the like the Frankenstein themes of like she's like a woman that was built out of dead parts and like learning what it means to become a woman in society. It's a
Okay.
real like look at the trailer for Poor Things. It's really out there, but like
Okay.
people
All right.
saying it's a
Check it
really
out.
yeah people saying it's like a really good performance. So she's probably going to be
And
there
now,
to perform that.
but I guess she's primarily promoting the Nathan Felder show, The Curse, right?
I would think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't think Poor Things is out just yet, but it's definitely coming in. Yeah, it's coming out. Oh, December 8th. So
Oh, well, that's pretty soon.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, okay. So
and
she's probably promoting both.
yeah, like that movie. I think people have already or like there's Oscar buzz, so
Yeah.
that'll be a big thing. But like yeah, either way, I'm really looking forward to her hosting. She's always been a fantastic host, done some really great sketches.
Hmm.
The dorm poster girl that she's played before. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's that, and
Yeah.
a lot of my
Playing
favorite.
that bimbo.
Yeah, a lot of my favorite P tapes, like The Actress, The
Yeah.
Wells for Sensitive Boys pre tape.
I loved the dancing thing she did with in the Paris Cafe with Taron Killam. That was very funny. I think she did a couple of those.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, this is a home run for me, and the expectations are very high to
Yeah,
see.
and fifth time hosting, may get a five timer sketch. It's
Ooh,
pretty traditional at this point, so that that's fun to see what new twists they try to put on that.
wee, ooh wee! I
Yeah,
can't wait. Can't
yeah,
wait.
yeah, and it'll be fun. And I bet in her monologue she'll talk about how she ended up marrying somebody from SNL because she hasn't had the opportunity to talk about that
Yeah, no,
uh,
absolutely.
publicly. So
Yeah, like yeah. I think we said it before, but we'll say it again, dude. If you're looking for love, get on the SNL writing staff because you will hook up with the woman of your dreams.
I guess so. I guess so.
So
So
get those packets
yeah.
ready, boys. All right.
She apparently also dated Kieran Culkin. I didn't know that.
Oh, I knew she was with
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield for a bit. But I didn't know Karen
Yeah,
Culkin.
she was with Andrew Garfield for 4 years. It says here on her
Ooh,
Wikipedia page. So
all right. Seems like good dudes, both of them.
yeah,
Fine blood.
yeah, and still friendly with him because like he talked in interviews that how when he was in the last Spider-Man movie, um, he had to keep it secret from everybody. He even lied to Emma Stone about it.
Oh.
And then after the movie came out, she like texted him. She was like, "You're a bastard."
But no, baby, I couldn't tell
So
you.
it's nice when exes are friendly enough to like tease each other and stay in touch and all that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's all nice and amicable. Yeah. See,
Yeah,
God damn it.
it's so mature.
I love that. I love that for them.
Yeah, that's so great.
Yeah. So December 2nd, we're getting what are we getting? Oh, Emma Stone and
Emma Stone,
and
yes.
Noah Khan. So
Noah Khan.
yes. So
They should just bring William Shatner on just to introduce him.
absolutely, they should just bring him on regardless, just for everything and anything.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think Shatner's hosted since the '80s. So
come on, man, put him on.
yeah, let's. I mean, I know the man's in his 90s now, but
well,
come on, if anybody could do it, he could.
Yeah,
The man has so much energy.
Exactly. What? Because he's not trending on the TikToks.
Yeah.
Man's an icon. Put him on. God damn it.
Yeah.
Khan.
Like most things, Saturday Night Live needs more Shatner.
Damn straight. But yeah, so that's December 2nd. But they're gonna have next week off, Thanksgiving week. So
Darren, what are we gonna do?
Well,
holy shit!
I'm so glad
you just realized.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Oh no. You gotta make a turkey and shit now.
Yeah, I mean, we more than that. We've got to figure out an SNL related movie that has some sort of Thanksgiving connection, ideally.
Well, you're in luck because I just happen to have an SNL related movie that's connected to Thanksgiving right here.
Oh, good. Oh, well, that sets my mind at ease.
Yeah. So so we're gonna do the 2011 film Tower Heist, with
Tower Heist with the Eddie Murphy and the Ben Stiller.
Yes, and the Casey Affleck and the Alan Alda and the Matthew Broderick and the Judd Hirsch and the Tia Leone and the Michael Pena, the Gabourey Sidibe. It's a stacked cast.
The lady from the based on the novel Pushed by Sapphire.
Yes, absolutely, that's her.
Yeah.
So we're doing Tower Heist. Has a Thanksgiving connection. I believe the heist takes place on Thanksgiving. I definitely know there's like a Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade scene in it. So yeah, we'll be bringing that to you on for Thanksgiving dinner. Tower Heist.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that sounds like a wonderful choice, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. Have you seen? You've seen it before, right?
I believe it's been years, but I did see this, and I remember thinking.
I have not seen it. It's not a thing that I have seen.
I remember thinking it was pretty okay. So
it looked okay in the trailers, as I recall. So.
It was cute. I believe that was.
So we will check it out, and we will report if it is in fact okay.
Yes, absolutely. So stay tuned for that, and that's our episode, guys. Thanks again for listening, as always, to our little podcast. As always, you can follow us on Twitter while it's still around at SNL Nerds Show. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Spill and Blue Sky and Threads and Mastodon and whatever other app is out there at Darren Credible, DARIN Credible.
Yeah. You can follow me on the Twitter and Instagram and what's the other one? Blue Sky, and even on Facebook if you can find me there. I'm Trumbull Comic at most of those places. That's TRUMBULL and the word comic. Mm-hmm. You can also follow the SNL Nerds page on Twitter at SNL Nerds Show, and we got to set up like some SNL Nerds pages at some of those other venues.
I think you're right. I think it's
we're also on the Facebook as well, so you can follow us on the Facebook. But we got to have a place to parachute to when the Twitter thing goes away.
Yes, we need to set up our escape hatches and escape pods. Most quickly, because it's only a matter of time, folks. It's not if.
Elon's doing some stuff, people.
It's not if, but when.
It really is.
Yes.
It's amazing how much damage that idiot has done in a year.
It's not even. It's not. The year's not even over. It's nuts. It's almost impressive.
Yeah.
It
almost at this point it almost feels like a producer sort of thing where he's like intentionally trying to tank it to profit somehow or something. But
that would take a lot more smarts than I would give him credit for.
Yeah. And the amazing thing is if he'd never done that, if he just hadn't bought Twitter, we could have gone right on thinking he was like a genius and this great inventor, entrepreneur, like this real life Tony Stark type that he was presenting himself.
But he was like, no, I want to let people know I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
People need to know.
Mission accomplished.
Yes. You did it. With the banner behind you, mission accomplished.
Yep. So anyway, so we'll see what more the next week brings to this hellscape we call life and Twitter and stuff. And we hope you join us then. But until then, Nerds out!
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.